and Tito Aldo show. And we are back. Last week we were not here because of some very important commitments, but we are back for a very special interview to our good friend he is so-called the mayor of St. James and the owner of one of the oldest restaurants here in Winnipeg, Silver Heights Restaurant, and also he is the interim chair of Manitoba Restaurant and Food Services Association. Let's welcome Tony Siwicki. Good evening, sir. How are you today, Tony?
Great. How are you guys doing?
Great. Thank you again for accepting our invitation. It's an honor to have you here in our very small, humble podcast. And we are live on Facebook today. Tony, would you like to greet our viewers out there?
Hello, Facebook. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, awesome. So we'll go straight to the point. Tony, how is Silver Heights Restaurant keeping in the midst of this? Of course, every day we hear updates about COVID-19. But how is Silver Heights Restaurant? How are you keeping in the midst of this pandemic? How is the business, Tony?
Well, it's slowly gaining momentum. We from a halt on March 17th is when we shut our doors and we had zero sales. So from there on, we slowly went to a pickup and delivery, and some catering, but that's very small. To now, went through, we tried to get to $5,000 a week, and then we were trying to get to $10,000 a week, and now we're trying to get past $15,000 a week, but we're still down 70%. So yeah, it's taking a hit. It's every day is a different day, and sometimes we get a great day in sales, and then the next day completely nothing, or not as good, right? So
it's really a challenging. It's a challenging time, Tony. Is that what you're saying? Very challenging, right?
Yeah. It's forcing us to be very creative and pushing us back a few miles.
Yeah. So, being also the interim chair of Manitoba Restaurant and Food Services Association, or MRFA, for those people who are not aware of this organization or of this association, would you like to give us a brief background of what does it do for the industry?
So, the Manitoba Restaurant Food Association, it's been around for north of 40 years. It is the hub for all information for this industry, whether it's restaurants, cafeterias, associations, anything that has to do with a restaurant, from POS to paper, corporate. So, but mainly it's your information. So any help you need, any guidance, we're here to help. We're here to point you in the right direction. If we can't answer it, we know the people that can answer it. So, and we lobby on behalf of all the restaurants and that industry. So if there's anything that's wrong, if the policy was made that wasn't talked to or wasn't thought about restaurants.
So, and it's not only the membership is not limited to restaurant operators, as far as I know, because there are also members who are food distributors like Cisco,
correct,
right?
Yeah. Certainly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's go on.
So do you know how many members do you have right now currently? Just an approximation.
About 500.
500.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the province of Manitoba, I don't know if you're aware of this, or everyone is aware because of the update daily, right? The province of Manitoba's Restoring Safe Service Plan has been released, I believe, on April 29th. And I'm not sure, does this mean that restaurants are now back to normal? If yes, or what are the restrictions, if any, Tony?
So May 4th was the opening of patios.
Okay.
So that was phase one. Phase one was strictly patios. Phase two will be June 1st at the earliest, and that would. It's up in the air now. As long as the restaurants with patios follow the safety precautions and are showing positive results, then dining rooms will be open. Maybe lounges, but phase three right now is the talk is lounges now. So April, the end of April, the news was May 4th, and really it was morning of more of a start. Let's get the ball rolling. Some people can do it, some people can't. I have a patio, but I'm nowhere near ready for a patio to set
Did
it
you
up.
open your patio by any chance already?
I set it up, but I'm not ready to serve on it yet. There's cleaning, there's stock storage. It really it was a wake up call to everybody that was closed for a while, saying, "Okay, guys, we're doing something. Here it is. You got a patio. Let's start here."
Yeah.
And now prepare your restaurant to get clean and ready for June 1st, so you can really start hitting the ball rolling and not be surprised, the weekend before June 1st kind of thing, right? So it's and now there's about I think a dozen patios open. Not a lot of patios out there, but only a dozen.
They're starting.
Opening, right? So
yeah, but it would not be the same as, of course, it's still cold, like it's still windy out there. So yeah. And Tony, I remember we first met when we're doing a food vlog, of course, at Silver Heights Restaurant, and I know how much you love the business, your people, your employees, your family. Like your restaurant looks like a family restaurant where everyone who comes in there. Now, you know your staff very well, and you treat them very well. How did you cope up or manage with the challenges of this pandemic to protect your employees during those times, Tony?
So, the very first when we knew we were closing our doors, the best thing I could have done, and what we'd done, was to lay them off immediately so they could jump on EI and CERB and whatever. I think it was just EI at the time. We also did all my produce and anything that was perishable was given to all my staff.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Filled all their fridges, my proteins, dry goods, pastas, seafoods. My staff was allowed to walk in and give me a list of what they wanted. So that was one thing, because I knew they weren't going to be making any money. Nobody was going to the stores, and I was going to lose them. And I didn't know if I was going to be opening, for takeout or not. We didn't know the rules at that point.
Yeah.
And then we started a tip pool. So all the customers that come in and just start giving, it's just a big pool of money that's going to be going to all the staff members. We little envelopes for them. It's not much, but it does help. Some customers, like, they're missing this place and they're very generous. So there's that. And, then just trying to keep them up to speed. So we do have, we have about 10 people now working, 4 in the back, 6 in the front, and there's delivery drivers and hosts, not hosts, but preppers, person taking the calls for all the orders, person making the salads, and then obviously cleaners, constantly cleaning. I'm doing renovations in my bar right now. The bathrooms, I might as well while we're closed. So a lot of help doing that. So we're trying to, if people want to come in, then we have some jobs for them. But then the other thing is too, people want to stay social distancing and get, and not bring it to work, right? So
Now let's talk about the new normal in our lifestyle, as everyone talks about this, right? New normal in everything. I actually work from home now, and be it in the workplace, school system, and even in the food and hospitality industry. Now, from your own perspective as a restaurant owner, what do you think would be the future of our food services sector, and how are you preparing for this from the perspective of being an owner of a restaurant and as a chair of MRFA, Tony?
So future, I wish I had a crystal ball. What I think's going to happen, there's three types of people out there. The first type is going to be the people that are going to run a return. Well, first, let me backtrack. We're allowed to open at 50% capacity.
Okay.
Right. So I've got a 200-person seat dining room and lounge, and 40 more on the patio if you want to include that. So at best, I'm allowed 100 if that's max. So at best case scenario, I lose 50% as soon as I open. So now we have half a dining room, and now we're relying on the people trying to come in. So the first bit of people There's three phases, like I was saying. One is going to be the people that want to return, get back in the normal, say the friends, and have fun and just get right back into it. Whether it's frequent or not, who knows? They still got to, it's going to be different for them to respect our social distancing rules. Every second table, 6 feet, the bathrooms, the front entrance. It's going to be different. It's not going to be normal for them, and it's going to be scary for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Second kind of people are the people that may take a little time before they come back out.
Yeah,
they will come out, but not as frequent. And the third are people that will never come back. My clientele, 40% of my clientele are north of 50 years old. 40 and 50 up. They're the ones that are at high risk. So I know for a fact that they're not going to be the ones racing back in here. Some will, but for the most part, they're going to be still sitting at home waiting. So that's this, the dining room and the lounge, same idea in the lounge. I got people phoning every day. When are you opening? When are you opening? Like they don't see the news, we don't know when we're opening, but when we do open, we're going to be hitting the ground rolling. Hopefully it works. We're going to push the social media. We've got new menus, planning, everything. Yeah. So that's a change, it's pricing is going to be changing. So for instance, we just have new menus. We got them printed the week that we closed.
Yeah.
After 3 months, 2 months of being closed, those menu prices are pretty much obsolete since the beef prices are going to skyrocket.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now I got to sit down and do them all over again, probably before anybody's even seen them.
So lots of changes happening.
It's lots of changes, extra staff too, because they, you walk into Safeway, look how many staff members they have now, just making sure people are staying apart. You're going to have to do it here too. And everybody's got the masks and the gloves, and it's just a whole different way of working that I'm used to. Right. Yeah. So, but if you want to continue, you gotta, there's people aren't going to be looking at, your prices and your selection and your quality, and they'll look at quality, but they're going to be looking more specifically on how clean you are.
How safe, right. Exactly.
How safe do you make them feel? How safe do you make their parents feel, their kids feel? So that is what your restaurants are going to be looking at, making sure that is forefront, the most important thing. After that, everything else is going to be looked after, right? So that's something we're working on. We're getting, and we have all the costs coming in, ordering all that sani and the mask. That's not cheap, and people are, there's some people that are out there that got some good deals, but you got to shop around for that.
Exactly. Now, I want to go back briefly to MRFA. There are many viewers for sure out there who probably own restaurants or part of the food services sector. Would you like to give them an idea of the advantages of being a member of MRFA, and what are the benefits, or is there any membership fee, or what are those advantages and benefits?
Membership fee is, I believe, is $250 for the entire year.
For the entire year? That's so cheap.
Yeah. So it's very cheap. What it does is it allows our voice to get louder and louder and louder. The more members we have, the louder our voice, the louder we are when we're meeting with the province or the federal government, policymakers. So we fight for restaurants, minimum wage or health, health and safety, liquor commission, VLTs, rules and regulations. There's so many things that we fight for the restaurants and that industry. And we're here for all information for any kind of restaurant, members or non-members. We need the growth, but we're here to help everybody in the industry, right? So the website's there for everybody. You go to the MRFA, Manitoba Restaurant Foods Association website. It'll just show you members, non-members. Here's our blog. Here's all the information you have for you. Here's what we're doing for you. The serve flexibility, the patio open phase 1, any information on that. The Canadian emergency rent assistance, EI flexibility, third-party fee relief. There's so many. The list goes on and on of what we're trying to do to make right. And we are a big group of individuals that all have different views, different eyes looking at the same problem, that we can actually come to a solution quicker.
And there we go. For those of you who own restaurants or part of the food services sector, visit their website, Google Manitoba Restaurant Food Services Association, and there, I believe there's a tab there if you want to be a member and read about their information and the advantages and benefits as discussed by Tony here. Tony, I really miss the ribs at Silver Heights. And I would say that,
you know, pick up a delivery.
I know. Yours is one of the best ribs in town, I would say. Now, do you have any events coming up as we prepare to slowly open the doors again? Any events coming up or specials you can tell our viewers right now?
So, well, we're planning on Mother's Day right now, so that's my main focus: get Mother's Day out of the after Mother's Day. We don't have anything planned as far as events. You know, we don't really know what we're allowed to do, right? So events are a thing of the future, but not the immediate future. Like I've got people trying to reserve for 40 people, 50 people, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We'll open slowly. We'll open smart, and we don't want to wreck it for everybody else. So we're going to do it properly and safely, right? For our customers and our staff and my family, and it's just that's the way we're doing. So we'll do discounts, of course. Ribs, we did ribs $5 off, half rack, full rack.
Nice.
Since March, sorry. So that's our staple, and we might as well do that. We've done a lot of charity lunches with Drake's Hospital. We're saving taking $2 for customers. We're requesting from customers to go towards Deer Lodge, feeding them.
Hospital that's awesome. Yeah.
There's little things that we can do. You know, it's just people ask for help. We jump in there and help them out. So
there you go. That's why, before I let you go, Tony, I'm pretty sure that most Winnipeggers know that Silver Heights Restaurant is, shall I call, an institution in the restaurant industry in Manitoba. Now, for those of you guys, the Silver Heights Restaurant, ladies and gentlemen, opened its doors, if I'm not mistaken, at 2169 Portage Avenue in June of 1957. That was 63 years ago.
Yeah.
By Anthony Siwicki Sr. Is that right? I did my research, Tony.
Yeah, good job. Yeah.
And, with the philosophy, I love this philosophy that says, provide your guests with quick and friendly service and to serve fresh, delicious, quality food at a reasonable price. Quote unquote, Anthony Siwicki Sr., June 1957. Isn't that awesome?
To this day, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, so it's something that that's what we hold on to. That's what keeps us driven. My dad followed the same values. I still follow those same values, and it's really simple recipe for success. And we have never seen anything like this in 7 decades that this restaurant's been around. COVID is brand new to us, so that's why we're still, we're in the same boat as everybody else. Same team, different jerseys, but same team. Everybody's here together trying to figure out how to get through this and help each other out. So whatever I can do to help, I will.
Yeah. I will ask you to choose just one word to describe Silver Heights Restaurant. What word would that be, Tony?
Family.
Awesome. Family. That's super awesome, Tony. Why family?
Because even our customers feel like they're family. Family started, family driven. I met my wife here. My dad met his wife, my mom here. My brother met his fiance here. So many people just met their significant others here. And now the kids are working here. And it's just, it's family.
There we go. Speaking of family, yeah, you're right. Speaking of family, Tony, sorry to cut you there. Speaking of family, shout out to Stephen McMillan.
Yeah.
There you go.
Number one cuz.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Siwicki of Silver Heights Restaurant and also the interim chair of Manitoba Restaurant and Food Services Association, only here at the Korean Well and Tito Aldo Show. We'll see you again next week. Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you, Winnipeg. Thank you, Manitoba. Yeah, we will. Awesome. Bye.